This domestic abuse video short is provided by the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council of Tallahassee. All relationships have their ups and downs. We argue, we make up, and sometimes we even break up. But how do we know if the relationship has become unhealthy or even dangerous? Physical abuse is not the only sign of an abusive relationship. Verbal abuse is still abuse, and it's all a means of maintaining the need for power and control. In this short video, we'll look at a few scenarios of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and psychological abuse, all of which can not only be unhealthy and make us feel like we have to walk on eggshells, but dangerous. If you notice any of these signs, it may be a good idea to reevaluate that relationship. When someone feels like they have to walk on eggshells with their partner because of expectations of a perfectly clean home or having to be at their beck and call, or if all your disagreements turn into massive fights, it can be a sign of emotional abuse. These can be ways for somebody to justify their desire to mistreat and control you, and generally make you feel bad about yourself. Sometimes people may try to live up to these nearly impossible expectations, and if they keep seeing the goalposts getting moved further and further away, you may feel like you're never going to be good enough. And that's because you're never going to be able to reach those expectations. Sometimes people may try to live up to these nearly impossible expectations, and they may keep seeing the goalposts getting moved further and further away. You may feel like you're never going to be good enough, and that it's your fault that you can't keep up with those demands. That's because it's impossible for you to ever meet those demands. Emotionally healthy relationships require respectful and clear communication about our expectations and boundaries. Disagreements are going to happen in nearly all of our relationships, but it's how they're handled that can make the difference. Healthy relationships should feel safe, period. Health and safety should not depend on chores being done, having to agree with all of your partner's beliefs, or even being at someone's beck and call all of the time. As technology and social media play a greater role in our lives, so does the ability to abuse them. Digital abuse is the act of using technology as a way of controlling you. Some examples include demanding the ability to keep tabs on you, expecting you to be available all of the time to answer calls or texts, demanding full access to your accounts or electronics, or telling you who you can and cannot interact with on social media. Healthy relationships have healthy boundaries, and this goes for technology too. It's okay to set boundaries on the privacy of your accounts and electronics, as well as being able to control when you're available to talk or text. Sometimes, the use of technology to keep tabs on you can come across like an abuser really cares, and they may use that excuse or tell you that it's for your own protection. One question you may ask yourself is, what do the consequences look like if I don't share this information? Or if I'm not always available to talk? It shouldn't be scary or nerve-wracking to say no. In healthy relationships, there should be a shared understanding of your boundaries with your phones, computers, and accounts, as well as what you consider to be reasonable availability. Jealousy is something that many people experience in some form or another. But in abusive relationships, it can be used to humiliate, control, or isolate you. For example, Trying to control the way you dress with phrases such as, "Are you really going to wear that?" or "Who are you getting all dressed up for?" can be concerning. They can also be telling you who you can be around with things like insisting they don't like your friends or telling you that your family is a bad influence. These things can have a much deeper intention, like trying to make you question your ability to make decisions for yourself, or to treat you like a possession, or to keep you from going certain places. In the beginning, jealousy may come across as passion or protectiveness, and they may even try to tell you that it is, or any of these things. Ultimately, it's our responsibility to deal with our own jealousy in a healthy way. Remember, this kind of abuse may not even look as obvious as, "Why would you wear that?" or "You're not going out with those messy friends, are you?" It could be, "I prefer when you wear the blue dress," or "Your friends don't seem to like me very much. I wish you would just stay home with me." In healthy relationships, you should be able to exist outside of the other person and make decisions for yourself. You are also not responsible for their feelings. Jealousy can happen to anyone, but it's their responsibility to express it in a healthy way. It's important to notice that all of these scenarios demonstrate abuse. Abuse doesn't always leave bruises, but it can always be harmful. There are resources in your area available to help you, a friend, or a loved one. For more information, contact Refuge House at 850-681-2111.